heard. Well, her last boyfriend was a turd. He didn't treat her the way she deserved. Well, that girl, she loves the word. Make sure her family goes to church. God damn, that girl, she loves to hum. And she voted for Donald Trump.
What the fuck?
That's my new country song.
No more country music.
Is this a dagger which I see before? Is this a dagger? Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible? To feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet in form as palpable as this which now I draw.
They wore their hands by the sides of the whole world, and no longer to regret that cross. Ashes on their faces, are the only witness of the past. Wait for the skies, open up the kids. Open from the loveless memories. Wait for the skies, open up the kids, and from the loveless memories.
You know, it was the streets. It was the streets. The streets taught me everything about the nature of the world and about music and a lot about myself and all the sounds of the streets, all the background noise, the voices, the cars, the sounds. It all went into my music somehow, and in the place where I grew up, the place where I'm from, and the friends that I hung out with, and it got me into everything. And I was really into punk rock. I was into counterculture, you know, anything that was counterculture. Hip hop, very passionate about hip hop. I spent years working on hip hop. That was probably the thing I was the most dedicated to out of everything. And then there's just this shift in my head that I can't control, and then I have to go off and have to do something different, or slightly different, or completely different. And it ended up being avant-garde jazz, experimental jazz, improv jazz. You know, the things that where you're reaching out into other places, and you're just finding different sounds and different ways to make them all in the jazz setting, with that kind of swing to it, and the blues and things like that. And I spent a lot of time in that, and studying the occult, Aleister Crowley, and all these different people. And you know, I started reading Shakespeare, and I started doing closet Shakespeare. And I started...
What is closet Shakespeare?
Closet Shakespeare is, well, it's I sit in the closet and I read out of Shakespeare, and I try to do my best reading the lines, because I don't really, it's hard for me to understand Shakespeare. I'm really interested in it, but it's so hard for me to read, because it's written so differently from the English we speak these days. So I'm so afraid to come out with that I read it in the closet. so that's why I call it Closet Shakespeare. But I don't know who I am from time to time. Like, the whole point of this is I'm trying to tell you that I don't know which way to go at any given time. I go through these cycles, and it shifts back around, and it comes back around again, and I'm into hip hop again, and then I'm into hardcore punk, and then I can't take any more of that, and then maybe a month later I'm back into jazz. You know, or I'm back into reading Shakespeare, or all these different genres that I get into. I get into performing. I get into different pathways, and I just stay on one, and then I go to another one, and then it's just like that. I shift into another genre. I have trouble with identity, I guess. I guess it's just an identity thing. I don't know. Some of these things are closely related. Like punk and hip hop are both underground counterculture music that's kind of on the outside, on the fringe of society, or there's this rebellious freedom within those two genres that has never left, and I'm attracted to that in many ways. But, you know, and then I got this new thing I'm working on that I don't even know if I want to do it. How long am I going to be into it? Am I going to be doing it for months? Am I going to be doing it for years, or a couple weeks? But I've been working on this outlaw country album, and I'm trying to get into that zone, and it's coming out pretty good. And there's a lot of influences in there from how I grew up. So, but you know, tomorrow I may be DeMarcus Hopkins, the jazz blues player that wears Ray Charles glasses and performs on a dark stage, just me and the piano. Who am I? Which one am I? DeMarcus Hopkins? Nice guy Mark, producer MC? Mark the Shark from Hart Park? I mean, come on, like what? Who am I? I don't know. I have to be honest and say it's really hard for me to come out of my shell and say that I don't know who I am. And I don't know what genre that I should follow. Because I know if I stay in one genre, I can get really good at it. And I can persevere and keep walking down that path, running down that path, and staying the course. But I just can't decide which one I am and who I am. So I guess I just have to transcend genre. That's the only choice. I just have to transcend genre, because I'm all of them all together, all at the same time.
upon the mass grave. Though it will be admired.
That's perfect time.
Wasted!